everybody, happy Friday. Doreen from Door Designs. I've been off a little bit this week. I was at a design retreat last weekend with a good friend. We had a great time. Brian and Donna put on a great retreat. We did 4 over-the-top designs, which was fun, and I got to meet a lot of other designers, which is always kind of a treat to meet people from across the U.S. So I'll be back on track next week. I've got all my orders done except for 2, and I'm doing those today. One of them is going to be this swag we're going to work on, and then I've already got the tea towels ready for Tea Towel Tuesday next week. I'm working on wreath kits. I'm actually going to be doing a lot more tutorials during the holiday season because I have a ton of Christmas designs that I want to show you guys. So today's design is actually going to be on a swag. It is an evergreen swag. I got the swag from Joann's. I think they're about a 22-inch swag. And for those of you who design, to me, designing on evergreens for the holidays is one of the easiest and the best ways to kind of learn, because you can just add a few things and let the beauty of the evergreen show, or you can make them as full as you want. I'm actually going to be doing a Halloween design on this one, and I've already started adding some mesh. So when I do a swag, I typically will do mesh just to give it some fullness. It gives me more things to attach to when I'm inserting pics and things like that. So what I've done, I just had a silver and I've done a black, and I'm going to take it the rest of the way down, and then I'll probably put a few pieces here on the side to kind of fill in. But like I said, all I'm using this for is a filler. So when I get it filled up, and I know I'll get comments sent in saying that I covered up all the mesh. I know it's going to happen because I'm only using it for the filler to make it nice and full. So I've already got my mesh cut. I've already got my bow made. So this is the bow. And the gal that I'm doing this for, she's lives here in town. She's a really good friend. And her front porch is done in the black and white. So I wanted to incorporate the black and white. I may add this sign in, and then I just have a ton of different kinds of Halloween pics and ornaments and pumpkins that have the black and white theme going, that I may add some of those. But I'm also going to kind of elongate this, and we're going to add some longer pics like this to kind of bring it down and bring it a lot fuller. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'm going to finish up with the mesh. So with the mesh, you can have it any length you want. You can scrunch it any way you want. I'm just going to curl in each of the ends a little bit, and then I'm just going to gather it. Now, if I was going to do the mesh wreath where the mesh was really going to show, I would do it much neater. And all I'm going to do is take 2 pine tines and put this in between. So I'll do a couple of black, then I'll throw in some silver. You can use any colors you want. And by taking it down the middle, it keeps it nice and full all the way down. And I just kind of scrunch it together. Let me do a silver. On the very bottom, I'm actually going to take my mesh, and I'm going to run it up and down, because otherwise it's going to stick out too far on the sides. Okay, I'm going to add 1 on each side up here at the top. I think I'm going to do the silver. And don't worry about the pine showing, because by the time we get done, it's going to be all covered up. And if you were doing one for Christmas, it doesn't matter if the pine is showing or not, because typically you want some of your pine to show. Whoops. Okay, I've got 2 pieces left, so I'm going to go ahead and just use my last 2 pieces. Okay, see how quick that is? Nice and full. Okay, next I'm going to go ahead and add my bow because it's going to take up a big portion of the top part of my swag. I'm just using 2 pine ties to tie this in. Just going to twist it and press those down. See how it took up a lot of the space at the top of the swag? Okay, now we're ready to start adding some of our pretties and all of our picks. So I've got everything arranged on my table. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place one of these picks at the top and one at the bottom. So I am going to put some hot glue on the end to kind of help secure it, but I'm also going to take some of the pine ties and I'm just going to twist it around it just to give it a little bit more security in there. The other thing is when you're hot gluing things into your swag, try to glue it on to the pine, not just the mesh. If you do just the mesh, you run that risk that it's going to pop off. Now, if you wanted, you can take these and pull these apart and have 3 separate pieces. But for me, for what I'm needing, I'm just going to leave all 3 of them together. I want to run that down a little bit further. There we go. I want to get it past that mesh onto the evergreen. Okay, and you'll notice I've kind of taken them at an angle, but I've kept them in the line there. See how fun and whimsical just those 2 pieces add to it? Okay, I think I'm going to add the sign. Let me see how it's going to look up underneath here. Well, I may not add the sign. I think I'm going to add my other Pics first and then just see if I need that sign. Okay. And most of these Pics came from Michael's or Hobby Lobby. And I think I pretty much got them all last year. Should have taken the tags off prior to the video, so I apologize for that. And I'm going to hold that just for a minute because they're a little heavy. They got stuck up on the mesh. There we go. Okay, so I put 3 of those Pics in. So I've got one up here at the top, and then one coming down, and then one going up on the side. So I use 3 of those. And basically what I'm going to do is just keep adding different Pics all the way around. I don't decorate my home for Halloween, so it's kind of fun to do some Halloween decorations. I'm going to do 3 more of those. Okay, so I've got the second pick added in. And I'm going to add some ornaments. And I'm going to add green, I think, some purple, and some orange. Sorry about that noise. And I'm going to add the biggest ones first because I'm going to kind of fill in some spaces in the arrangement. So I'm just going to dip them in my electric skillet. Get a nice amount of glue at the top of the ornament. Like that. And then I'm just going to start adding them in. And I'm going to hold them just for a little bit. And we'll cut some of these ribbon tails back. By the time we get done with this way, you're really going to be able to see it from her front door to the street. Okay, I'm going to add some of the smaller ornaments just to kind of keep some more of the pop color going. And I'm going to add some sparkly purple. And I've got some orange ones to add also. Okay, I'm going to add 3 orange. And some of these you probably won't see from the front, but you can see them from the side because I want all the sides to be filled in also. But when I trim some of the tails, you'll see them. Okay, we're going to put in some little branches. And I'm running the branches kind of down back behind to give us a little more dimension. I'm going to branch those out a little bit because they're stuck too close together. Okay, now I'm going to take some really thin little whimsy pieces and I'm going to kind of fill in some fun stuff coming off of the design. Oops, that one's too long. I'm going to move that one down a little bit. I want my little ghost to show. There we go. I'll give you a closer view of how nice and full it's getting. Fun and whimsical with lots of dimension, lots of movement still to it with all the different twigs and branches. And then I'm going to put some of these white and black because I really want to bring out the next colors of her porch. Just going to hold that just for a second so it kind of dries a little bit. And I'm putting one down here at the bottom also. We're just about done. Okay, let me fix the bow a little bit. I want to feed some of my tails up a little higher. And open it up. I've got a hole right over here, I see. I'm going to try to get that stuck in there. I wish you guys could really see how bright all these colors are because it's really pretty. I'm probably going to end up taking this piece out and gluing it up a little bit higher. It just kind of bothers me. Oh, there we go. I'm actually going to cut it down a little bit. I think it's too big and too heavy for that spot. There we go. Much better on take two. And then I'm going to take this one and try to glue it to the bottom and just lay it on top of the bottom pick to kind of add a little bit more dimension and color on top of that black and white. But I'm going to cut these pink. There we go. Okay, I'm going to stand back just real quick so I can kind of see. Gonna let that dry. I wanted to put a little piece of the black tree limbs behind the black and white because I had a white open space behind it. Okay. think I'm done. Okay, if this doesn't stand out on her front door for the neighbors to see, I don't know what swag would. But there's a nice close-up of it. So like I said, we started out with about a 22-inch swag, and we're going to end up with, if you go from top, it's about a 41-inch design by the time you get done. So you can really elongate your swags by adding stuff on top and on bottom. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It's good to be back. Going a week or so without doing tutorials or lives kind of have to get back in the groove. But now you can kind of see how big it is when I hold it up next to me. So you guys have a great weekend. Like I said, I will be back 2 or 3 days next week doing my tutorials, and besides doing Tea Towel Tuesday and Wreath Kit Wednesday. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.